welcome back. It's still Breakfast Daily, and we are in the communities around the country looking at different stories, different issues, different challenges, different solutions to different problems that are happening. And we have a really good story that we want to bring you in the northern part of Ghana in the education sector. But before we get to that, Happy, let's just, there's something that occurred to me about the understanding of an ecosystem, how things work, and how everything is related to something else. Right. We in the water security conversation that we had, the roundtable that we had, one of the things that sort of dawned on me that, my goodness, really we live in an ecosystem, and that if we are not careful, we will kill ourselves thinking that the thing that we are allowing, the ills that we are allowing, are so far away from us. It doesn't affect us in any way, right. And that we don't see the relationship, right? So somebody is building in a Ramsar site, and guess what the chief says? The chief says that the birds that you are claiming have flown away and will not come back. Did the birds vote for anybody? Do you get it? It seems like an irrational thought, but it's logical, because you look at it from a perspective of somebody who doesn't see the relationship of how things are related, right. How things are connected. Right. Professor Chris Gordon said something very fascinating to us at the conference, at the round table. He said, when you destroy water bodies, things like dragonflies, insects like dragonflies will die.
Yep.
When they die, insects like mosquitoes will flourish, because the dragonflies eat mosquitoes.
Yep.
So we sit in the comfort of our homes, saying to ourselves that we are getting rid of malaria. Nice one. But on one hand, you're getting rid of malaria. It's just talk. Because the other thing that you are doing is to allow mosquitoes to thrive.
Yep.
And you've destroyed water bodies that will allow dragonflies to flourish, and let dragonflies eat the mosquitoes for you.
And you see, beyond the mosquitoes flourishing,
yeah,
right, they're becoming stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
Because there's evolution.
Yes.
So they're changing, they're mutating. If you realize, now when you light mosquito coil,
it doesn't kill
or
them.
you use insecticide, what we call mosquito spray, right? It doesn't kill them.
Oh, but listen,
even if it kills, you need to actually find the mosquito, put the smoke on it or the spray on it, and even then. And apart from that, if you realize that tiny, tiny insects that we didn't used to see before, and these are different from what we would call fruit flies, or if you've put some oranges or some bananas down for some time, they'll come. Now, you're just sitting down and then they whiz past you.
Everything is related. That's the thing. Everything is connected. For me, that's my biggest thing. Everything is connected.
And then let's not forget that if our water security is under threat like this, where all the gains we've made with pipe-borne water, potable water, all those words, wash, all those things that we feel we've progressed along in, right? Now, you said this, people are going back to the polluted water bodies. So, one, you're going back to the water bodies, which are diminishing. Now, they are even more polluted than before. Waterborne diseases. And now you're dealing with added chemicals, especially if you're in the Galamsey communities. All those things. All those things.
Everything's linked.
All those things.
Anyway, Abby, let's go to the north. Let's take a look at an education story that's a beautiful story. We'll come back and we'll get into a conversation.
This was the situation at the Njobilbo community in the Tatali Sangule district in the northern region. The community itself is deprived in many areas. There is no electricity in the area. The community school, which was established by the EP Church, is currently in a deprived state. The deprived nature of the school does not motivate teachers to stay in. Community members who complained about the decline in education in the area say it is because teachers posted to the area are unwilling to stay because there is no accommodation for them. To help curb the challenge, the community members and the old students have constructed a 4-bedroom accommodation for teachers. This, according to the community, is to motivate teachers to stay and help the students. The community donated the facility to the District Director of Education to mark the 25th anniversary of the school. The District Director of Education acknowledged the challenges in the community and pledged his outfit support.
It's a problem all over the district. Even if you go beyond, it might not only be this place, but this is my jurisdiction. And the things I did when I paid a courtesy call on the Paramount Chief of Tatali was to appeal to him, to appeal to the various chiefs in the various communities so that these accommodation can be provided for teachers. Because these days, the teachers are even posted from national. They come all over from the country. They can come from Accra, wherever. So you can imagine if somebody is posted from Accra and the person comes here, maybe throughout the person's life, he has never even stepped foot in a village before. And then you come here, the accommodation becomes a problem. So we appealed to the Paramount Chief and he assured us that he would talk to the chiefs. And a few communities are also visited.
The classroom block was constructed by the School for Life. The district field officer for School for Life in the Taltale district, Aminu Kama, tells Citi News what they are doing to support various communities.
School for Life is coming secondly into the community, and this time around the focus is not on the CBE. The focus is jet towards what we call social accountability. And the project started actually this year. Okay. So we reported into the district in April. And the project is going to run for 2.5 years.
So tell us about the social accountability. How does it?
Well, the name of the project is CLARE. There's an acronym that is being represented by the project. It's the CLARE project, which stands for Citizen-Led Action for Educational Accountability and Responsiveness.
The regional manager of EP Church also bemoaned the challenges of the school and made an appeal to the government and authorities to come to the aid of the school.
Yeah, I think this is my first time when I took over the position coming to the community. My impression wasn't all that good. Looking at the structure where the students are learning and the pupils, because we have the KG, the primary, but looking at the structure, it's not all that good for children to be having their studies there. So that is my first impression.
The community and the old boys have also distributed newly sewn school uniform to the pupils.
All right, so there you have it. Some people looking at a problem and instead of throwing their hands up in the air, have come together to say, let's do this for our school and for the posterity of education in our community. Noah Maye Naboja, who's an old student of that school, has joined us on the line. Noah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much.
All right, so talk to us about when this idea first, came up and how you were involved.
Okay, thank you very much. I would say somewhere 2018.
Okay.
Somewhere 2018, I was posted to Tatale, BP Agri Senior High, after completing University for Development Studies, especially mathematics.
Mm.
And when I was posted back to Tatale here, I went around to my community because that was the school I completed. So I had heart in it. When I went, the school was like, it was almost collapsing.
Mm.
So I went to my other colleagues who were also old students and were working. So we did an initiative. It was like at a period, something like rainy season and the rest, teachers who stay far away could not come to school.
Yeah.
So the school was like almost empty. So we decided to do some contributions and employ some of our brothers who completed senior highs and they were still in the community there. And after now, we still have volunteers who are still helping the students. So they agreed. And then the complaint for the teachers was that since they are far away, not always that they can be in school because there can be natural obstacles. Right, so alongside, we decided that then let's construct, let's say, teachers' quarters for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not referring with you. The teachers' quarters took us for over 2 years now. Because trying to do it was a problem. So we have to mobilize the community and some of our members who are far away from town. Some are in Ejira, in Tampo, and other parts of the country.
Okay.
So some of them supported us with some funds. We were able to buy cement and iron sheets and then roof the house. And now it is completed. So we decided to just box it together with the 25th anniversary of the school.
What anniversary again?
25th anniversary of the
25th
primary school.
I see.
The one we are talking about.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So give us a sense of give us a rough figure. How much roughly did it cost you to put this up? It's 2 buildings, isn't it?
Yes, 2 separate buildings.
Yeah.
Actually, we started with map, and it took us a longer time. Sometimes we construct, rain will come and then pull it down. So at the end of the day, we have to support it with cement and then let's say cement.
Okay.
So for now, the 2 buildings will cost no less than 6,000.
6,000 cedis for the 2 buildings.
Yes.
Okay.
Not less.
Not less than 6,000.
6,000 cedis.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. If, let's say, somebody had come at the beginning of the project to give you 10,000 Ghana cedis, what would you have been able to put up?
I think the structure would have kept, let's say, more modernized than what we have now. Yes, because this one, I can bear with you, part of it is block.
Okay.
And part of it is mat and then thatch.
Okay. All right. Okay. And does it have washroom facilities?
Sure.
It has that as well. It has washroom facilities as well.
For now, we are still in progress. This is what we have gotten to. And no fund again.
Okay.
The people who are supporting us are now, maybe, it's like one who call them, so you can see the building. Part of it is. So there is no money for us to continue. So we are appealing to the whole nation and the government as well. It's not only the quarter, that's our problem.
Yeah.
Now, when I came 2018 and I got this idea, my colleagues, Mr. Peter, Mr. James, and Mr. Amos,
yes,
the people we brought in the community to support the school, now, teachers that were teaching them realized that they were very good material, so they decided not to give them out to maybe a different school to both that they have trained them. So we decided to start a junior high. So now we have primary 1 to junior high 3, and junior high 3 they just completed this year.
Okay.
And we have barely 3 classroom blocks.
Okay.
3, only 3 class, like 3. If I said blocks, somebody may think that it is different blocks. It's 3 classrooms.
Okay.
And then School for Life also built some structure for us somewhere in 2015. And that is what we are now managing with the 3 classroom blocks.
Okay. All right. No, thank you very much. This gives us a good perspective of what it is that has been happening. And as we are on Citi TV right now, there's a number of people that are watching, some of them from the community where you are. They probably live in Accra, Kumasi, other places now, and are doing well for themselves. But as you can see, those of you who are watching, it doesn't take so much to put up a decent facility for people who are living in this community in Njobilbo, to put up structures for them. And so as Noah has been telling us, as an old student, they came together. It took them 2 years because there was no upfront cash. Yeah, there wasn't any upfront cash. So little by little, somebody brings 50, another person brings 100, another person says, look, I don't have as much, I have 20, and we'll keep bringing and adding, and eventually you've built 2 buildings. that are facilities for teachers, so that the people in that community can at least have people who will not have to travel and trek for miles to go and come. And the teachers, you see, I mean, you've taught, you know, and you know that for some of the people in these communities, you may send a teacher, and the teacher may go out of curiosity to say, you know what, even though it sounds like a faraway place, let me go. I may discover that I like it. But when you go and there's very little to nothing in terms of facilities, within a month, 2 months, you want to return back to...
Yeah, because teachers are not magicians.
Exactly.
Teachers are not magicians.
Yeah.
And you see, different people have different personalities. Somebody may say, okay, I'm going to stay here. I'm taking it as an adventure. You know, I'm going to do what I can, rally people and change the situation. Not everybody has that willpower. And not everybody has to have that willpower. You know, and especially if you're dealing with a teacher who has a family that he or she has to take care of.
Yeah.
The person's first port of call is not to put up a structure to make the community better.
Yeah.
He or she is thinking, and more so if that family doesn't live with the person in the community where they're teaching, he or she is thinking about how to send some money, some resources back home so that their family is okay.
Yeah.
You know, they're also not becoming prey to certain vices. You know, and this is why it's important to make sure that in the scheme of things, we don't shortchange people like teachers. People who offer essential services for the betterment of our community, teachers, health professionals, if they are disgruntled, I mean, we see what happens when doctors or teachers go on strike.
Yeah.
The whole community suffers for it. And we can't play with our education, especially not at this point where that is really the only bargaining chip we have.
Yeah.
It's our only leveler. We can't play with it the way we've been playing with it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, teacher goes in, place is not conducive. Instead of being able to sit down and think about the lesson notes they are going to do in there, thinking about how to avoid the water that's dripping through your roof when it rains in the night. You know, or how to make sure that some baboons don't come and eat the cassava that you are cooking. Because it happens.
No, it happens.
Some of these communities, you are cooking on a coal pot, so a baboon will just come and knock the thing down and eat it.
Even lucky that it's a baboon, it's not a cheetah
No,
or
it
some other
happens.
kind of, you know, wild cat or something.
It happens.
Yeah.
So in certain parts of the country, and generally speaking, shelter is not just about having a place to lay your head. It's about actual survival, security of your life. Just your life, so that some animal doesn't eat you or something doesn't harm you.
Real.
Let's not even talk about being burgled, you know. And so you have teachers who get to class and they are sleepy. You travel to certain parts of the country, go and interact with teachers, and I've done it, go and interact with teachers. You go there, they have sleep written all over their faces, not because they couldn't sleep because they hadn't finished setting exam questions. They couldn't sleep because some window somewhere is cracked open. He or she doesn't know what kind of insect or animal or human being is going to have access to where they're sleeping. Or it's been raining, like I'm saying, and then you've shifted yourself to one corner of the room, not of the bed, of the room, because every other spot has some dripping somewhere. Or you're waking up at 2 a.m., 2:30, especially if you're a woman, to go and have your bath, because the facility that you're sleeping or you're living in, your living quarters, doesn't have decent facilities for you to take a bath. So you have to go and bath outside with all these dangers I've spoken about. Probably go and fetch water from somewhere and then pray that nobody comes to see your nakedness. So these are real things. Which person will say, I'll stay here? No. And it's not like they're also earning enough to say, okay, let me dedicate a part of my salary and then contributes to the betterment of the situation.
And so you see how wicked we are when a group of people who don't have figured out a way to put 2 buildings up for 6,000 cedis.
And they've done it with Aprotec.
Yes.
He says some is blocked, so cement blocks, other parts are mud and starch. Yes.
Yes. And then you use So you mix the mud with starch, and then you use thatch roof, whatever zinc you find, aluminum sheets you find. Listen, and I think about it, and I'm like, you know what? I have heard of people putting up rooms for hundreds of thousands. They'll quote it and they'll send it. It's like, oh, this two facilities, two houses for staff cost 100,000 Ghana cedis. That's evil. It's beyond evil. Because if we did, this is not 100,000, that you're talking about. I'm not talking about today's 100,000 that the devaluation has affected. No, I'm talking about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 100,000 for 2 buildings. And people will quote it very, very, it's like it's not a big deal. It's like we just say it and walk away. That's why I asked him, how much did it cost you? If you give us, and just a rough idea. And he said, about 6,000 cedis for the 2 buildings. And you saw the buildings in your show. It's not as if you didn't see the building. You saw the buildings, right? Who are we? Ghanaians. Who are we really? And what are we doing to ourselves? Well, there's happier conversations coming up on Breakfast Daily. I want to appeal, honestly, to anybody that's watching. If you want to reach out to these people in Njobilbo community, you see the classroom blocks. There were 3 of them. Not in any state that any student of this nation should be going to. But they are there. They need help. Somebody should reach out and say, listen, I'll take one of the classroom blocks. Let me sort it. I can't do all, but let me take one of the classroom blocks and turn it into a fully secured, properly sheltered classroom block. Maybe you want to build a new one entirely. That's also a laudable idea. But we don't do these kinds of shows just to show the problem, but we have to bring solutions to those communities as well. Let the people of Njobilbo see that not only does Ghana care, but Ghanaians will see a problem and will come to their aid. If the leaders of this country don't think it's important, let's sideline them and let's do it ourselves. We'll be back after this break. Don't go anywhere.